Most of us dream of owning a beach house someday. Sea view, fresh air, great resale. It sounds like the perfect investment. But what no one really tells you is how quickly this dream can turn into a legal nightmare. Because coastal land doesn't work like normal land. So if someone tells you they're selling a beachside plot at a great price, that's your cue to pause. This is exactly where most buyers go wrong. So if you are considering buying land near the sea, watch this video. Hi, welcome back to Landopedia, where we talk about all things land minus the boring. So today we're going to talk about something which might be an alien subject for most of us. Coastal Regulation Zone, how it works and how it directly affects your ability to build, use or resell coastal land. What is CRZ? Coastal land in India is governed by special regulations called Coastal Regulation Zones or CRZ. It is basically a legal framework notified by the Government of India under the Environment Protection Act. And these rules apply to the land that lies within 500 meters from the high tide line along the seacoast, along tidal rivers, creeks and backwaters up to a specified distance. Basically across all coastal states and union territories in India. All in all, CRZ is made to protect the environment. Because let's be honest, land is limited and so is coastal land. Why CRZ matters for investors? Now let's talk about what's in it for the investors. See, CRZ directly controls three things that matter to an investor. Whether construction is allowed, what type of construction is allowed, whether permissions are realistically achievable. And many investors assume that land ownership automatically gives construction rights. But this assumption is incorrect for CRZ land. You may legally own the land and still be legally restricted from building anything meaningful on it. CRZ classification. CRZ land is divided into 4 categories, and understanding each category is very important. CRZ 1. Ecologically sensitive areas. This includes mangroves, coral reefs, sand dunes, turtle nesting areas and similar zones. Construction here is almost entirely prohibited. Even boundary walls and fencing are often restricted. From an investment perspective, CRZ1 should not be purchased unless you fully understand that development value is close to zero. CRZ2. Developed coastal areas. These are areas close to the shoreline that already have authorized roads, buildings and infrastructure. Construction is permitted, but only within strict limits and after multiple approvals. Most premium coastal properties that you see legally constructed fall under CRZ2. This is the least risky CRZ category for investors, but also the most expensive. CRZ3. Rural and undeveloped areas. This includes coastal villages and low-density areas. Construction is allowed only beyond a specified distance from the sea, usually 200 meters from the high tide line. Many low coastal land deals fall under CRZ3, which is why buyers get confused between ownership and usability. CRZ4. Water areas. This covers the sea, tidal water bodies and river stretches. This category is not relevant for typical land buyers and applies mainly to ports, fisheries and marine infrastructure. How CRZ can make an investment work? CRZ land can still make sense as an investment if you know what you're getting into. See, not all CRZ land is a no-go. If the plot falls under CRZ2 or certain permissible CRZ3 zones, you already have more flexibility compared to other CRZ categories. Second, it really depends on what you plan to do with the land. If you intend to use it clearly allowed under CRZ rules, then the risk reduces a lot. Problems usually come up when people assume they can build freely without checking the guidelines. CRZ land also works better for people who are thinking long term. If you are buying for appreciation rather than immediate construction, the restrictions matter less over time. Most importantly, every permission should be verified in writing before you buy. Verbal assurances don't count here. When all these boxes are ticked, CRZ restrictions are usually already factored into the land price. So they don't automatically mean lower returns in many cases. They're just part of the deal. How CRZ can break an investment? CRZ becomes a problem when buyers assume approvals will come later and trust verbal promises from brokers. It also goes wrong when CRZ maps and official permissions aren't checked, and when a bank loan gets rejected after the purchase. In such cases, the land becomes hard to resell, impossible to monetize, and CRZ violations can even lead to demolition notices and penalties years later. How to check CRZ status before buying? If you have done your research and are going to buy the coastal land, here are certain things to keep in mind. You must obtain the official CRZ map for that district. Check the land's CRZ classification with the State Coastal Zone Management Authority. Verify existing permissions in writing. Consult a land lawyer familiar with CRZ regulations. Do not rely on Google Maps, seller claims, or nearby constructions as proof. In my opinion, CRZ does not make coastal land bad. It makes coastal land highly conditional. If your investment logic aligns with what CRZ allows, the land can perform well. If it does not, the investment fails regardless of location or price. Understanding CRZ is not optional. It is the foundation of coastal land investing. This is Sachit signing off from Landopedia. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And the next one, we're uncovering the land versus commercial property versus residential property, which gives you the best benefit. Make sure to hit the bell icon and look forward to the future videos.